Guys, so this is like a short Maya rigging scripting tutorial, how to rig a horse using my sequential auto rigger. And it's just to give you an idea how this system works. If you haven't watched the first part, definitely start there. It will tell you how to download the auto rigger and what the whole thing is about. Just one more note here. This is a little bit more advanced stuff this time, so in case you guys feel like it's too much, make sure to check out my quadruped rigging course or Minotaur rigging course. Both of them are available on my website. Some of the tutorials are free, others are only available for patrons. Okay, so let's delve into part 5. So now the footrigs, and that will fail, and the footrigs are going to be big. So we can, like just click here and just edit step and just edit the code file, and you can see like it's looking for all the bones here and all the pivots. So I feel like it might work just fine if we just provide the right bones, hopefully. But then again, here we have this left front, right rear. So it's going to be looking for all those ankle and toes base bones. So that's again going to be challenging because we have ankle bones and toes end bones. So that's the kind of bones we need. So let's see how this looks here. So here we have that. That's the ankle, toe base, and toes end. Now let's see if this is skinned. It's not. And we have that. I feel like it'll be better if we just rename those because it's challenging as is. So why don't we just go and go back to that template and try to rename those instead, rather than dealing with those crazy names, because they're not great names. So here, let's just do left rear ankle. Here, let's do left rear ball. And here, let's do left rear hoof. What I want to do with the hoof, actually, I don't want it to be here. I want it to be over there. The reason for that is that that's what usually worked much better. So I'm going to grab those two and move them until the very end. I don't think it makes a difference, but I just want to be consistent with what I've been doing so far in my rigs. Let's just name that rear, this rear ball. There you go. So here we have it. Then let's do this one now. I'd say for that one, let's do left front ankle. This one left front ball. And this one left front hoof. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So we have this here. Right front ankle, right front ball, and right front hoof. There you go. Now obviously I want those hoofs to go forward. So that looks good. Let's just save this. And we can go again, try to build up to this stage. Okay, so that's failing because now it's looking for that joint. That joint doesn't exist. Now we have the ankle. So let's go to the code for the rear legs. And instead of looking for that, let's just do ankle. Same for the front legs, we already know it's gonna be an ankle. And we need to do front. And we need to do rear. Okay. So let's go back, run it. And it built it just fine. Let's just build another one. That's the front. Okay, perfect. Now we have knee tweaks. Knee tweaks. And then footrigs. So for the footrigs now, we can actually change the code to actually look for L front, L rear, R rear, and R front. And so that then will do it. Now here, we're not really looking for that, so we're just going to do ankle. We're also going to do ankle. Here we're going to do ball. And here we're going to do hoof. And so that should then do it, unless there's some other places that I missed. Hopefully not. Let's see. Front leg main node. Let's go back. Try again. Okay, so it's not finding the L front leg main node. So that would be that main node. L front. Okay. So the problem is that now it's going to be looking for this naming, which obviously in this case is different now because, so as you can see here, that main node. Yeah, so that side now, it's going to be all different here, right? So we need to keep the alt side. So maybe let's just do short like before. So short and side and zip, and we can zip that with what we had before, which is left front, and then here left rear, and then right rear, and right front. Something like that. So that will zip it for us. And here's the comma. We can pass two of them like that. And this is going to be short now. So we're going to do this. And that should then work because that side thing is used everywhere else. So it's a little bit complicated if we don't do it this way. Okay, so let's see if that works. The thing is that this needs to not be joined. There you go, that. Now with that, step back and run. And there we have it. So it built the footrigs for our character. And now, as you can see, the legs are functioning perfectly. It has a front spin. It has a heel spin, ball spin. So it has all the spins, but you have toe and toe heel pivot, which for some reason in here it's wrong. Bank in and out. Okay. So you gotta change the orientation of that leg. That's cool. We can do that. Does this one also have that issue? Toe heel pivot. Yeah, so it's sideways instead of being facing front. So with the footrig, you might want to change how it's building it. If you can just somehow force the orientation of it better. So to do that, we'll have to go to our documentation. So in here, there is a documentation, and we have the footrig, FKFK footrig, and we have up vector. We also have aim vector. So we need to change that. So let's change that aim vector for the footrig, and that should build it differently. So basically where we're aiming is not 1, 0, 0, because that's X, it's going to be in Z, we're going to be aiming forward. So something like that, I guess. And then with that, it should make it better. So let's see, step back, run. And let's see if that made it a little bit better. So toe heel pivot, yes, there you go. See, now it works perfectly. And then bank in and out, perfect. So there you go. That's how we can fix that stuff. So that's your footrigs. I don't like how that IK ended up here, and actually we could just move it. Like super easy, just like that and that. So it's like right in front of the leg instead of down there. We can do that in that build front leg step. So like the easiest way to do it right now would be to select all those, like their groups, and basically move them up. And so basically Maya just prints it for you. So what you can do is something like this. CMDS select. I can just select those two guys. Right. and then basically you want to do move, CMDS move, and then you want to do relative. So you want to do relative true, and you want to do 0, 20, 0. 0, 20, 0, relative true. Let's see how that works, and we might want to change it. So that moves it up, but we also want to move it in Z. So how about minus 20 in Z? Okay, that's wrong. It's actually 20 in Z. So let's do that. Yeah, so that's better. Maybe I want to move it a little bit higher. Yeah, that's perfect. Look at that. That's what we want, right? I like that. We can also move that back. Okay, so if we're polishing that, we could do that, but for now, I'm just going to add it to my front leg step. Basically, in the end, I just do that. Offset IK boxes. And let's see how that works. Run to current. And you can see that it's actually all good now. So then we have the Footrigs controllers. So how do we build Footrigs? Well, not like that. It's looking for that ankle. So let's go to the Footrigs. So we can just do that and create Footrigs. And here, it's looking again for that, right? So, and that site is only being used here. So we can basically do, in this case, it's not really a big deal. All we have to do is just do L front, because the different naming convention, right? Our rear, our front. So here we're just going to do ankle. And here we're going to go ankle with that joint. Okay, so that should do it. Let's see. Step back, run. There you go. There's the Footrigs. And the next one is to build the ribbon spine for the character. So let's see the Footrigs first. Extra controls on. So there's the Footrigs. Okay, cool. Off. Let's do the spine. Spine will fail. It's going to be looking for hips. So let's see the spine. Edit step, edit code. So here's my spine, how it's building it. It's looking for spine joints and basically from hips to chest. That's all it's doing. Skips joints missing string. Okay, so it's doing something like this, but it's also taking that. So that's the name of the system. Okay, spine joints from hips to chest. That's what it was. So how about, so this is my hips, right? Which the naming is not exactly too great again. So I'm just going to rename it again because that's the easier way to go. I'm just going to go to that template and I could change the code, but what's the point? In here, okay, so I see that I actually have, so ilium, that's, okay, so the spine is separated. That's interesting how it's done. I feel like I wouldn't want to do it this way. I would want to have, interesting. This is completely different than what I would do. So I'm going to do a tweak it to how I would like it to be done. So first of all, this is going to be my hips. Second of all, I would like to move that joint because I don't like how it's behaving right now. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to rename it first, all of it. So this is vertebrae 1, so I'm just going to do, we can keep vertebrae or we can just do spine, spine 01. Let's just do that. 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, and then let's see that. So that's my chest basically. So that's cool. Now those hips, I don't want them here. I wanted another joint in there. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to save those weights using ng-skin tool. File, initialize, export weights from this mesh, my horse weights. And then I'm just going to unbind it. And now I can tweak it the way I want it. So I'm just going to move this, we're holding D, move it back. I'm going to go to the side view and just kind of eyeball it so it's all a continuation. So that's my hips. It's going to be just one more step back. This is going to go, ooh, what's that main thing? I don't know what that is. I don't like it too much, honestly. How about okay, you know what? Like, I need to undo this because I want to make sure that there's no weights on that. So see if that main has any weights. Well, it doesn't, right? We don't need that main then. So let's just unbind it. And just, you know, just parent the spine to the hips basically, and then delete that main, because that's not what I like. And so the hips will basically go here. That's how I like to rig my quadrupeds. And that can just go lower. And that looks like a decent continuation of what was before. So that might just work fine. Maybe a little bit more here. Okay. Now the orientation of the joints as well would be interesting. So comment joint orient, show axes, obviously x, y, y, orient joints, and it's going to aim at its first child. So in this case, I want the spine to be the first child. Orient joints. This one show axes, orient joints. This one show axes. Looks good. All right, maybe orient. No, it's fine. Okay, cool. So with that, select the Chiral key, joint orient, height axis, and then from here we can grab it and skin it together. Joint Chiral key, boom. And here we can just import those weights. Boom. By vertex ID. Delete all custom nodes, and let's see how that works now. Okay, seems like it works just fine. Okay, perfect. So let's just save this template horse, and let's just go to build the spine rig, run to current. Let's see if that still works. Oh, works now. The spine rig. Let's go back there, and here we're gonna have hips rig. So we're gonna have hips. We're gonna have spine 1, spine 02, spine 03, spine 04, and I don't know how many I have there. Let's see. This is spine 05. Perfect. So that's exactly what we had before. Spine 05, and because it's shorter now, we can just put it all in one line. Like this. Let's keep joints missing. We gotta do hips and spine because, you know, it's gonna try to put it on joints that are not supposed to be there. So with that now, we can run that step, and yeah, that basically builds it, but unfortunately, it builds it as well facing that way. What we need to do here is when we're building that spine, the orientation has to be rotated 90 degrees maybe. Let's do minus 90. That will do it. So that's good. Then we have the neck and head. But the neck and head we're going to finalize in our next final tutorial. Thanks, guys.